particular time thought I was scared of him, that I was afraid. So he said, Floyd don't want to fight me. I'm willing to meet him at 152 pounds or 152 and a half. And me,
I gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
Roy Jones Jr. against Andre Ward, Terence Crawford against Floyd Mayweather at 47.
Floyd Mayweather has weighed in on Terence Crawford's recent claim of being the superior fighter, a statement that adds more fuel to the speculation about a possible showdown between the two. While Mayweather acknowledged that Crawford's victory over Canelo was impressive, he emphasized that surpassing someone who retired with a flawless 50-0 record isn't that simple. Floyd pointed out that he's always been deliberate when it comes to ranking fighters. Even prior to this bout, he spoke highly of Crawford, often naming him among the top pound-for-pound boxers in the sport today.
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me?
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd?
I don't know. I thought you'd hesitate maybe even a bit, but no.
Nah, not at all. That's one of my favorite fighters.
The tone of the discussion has now moved from mutual respect to the possibility of a real challenge. This shift was sparked when Canelo, the only fighter to have faced both Mayweather and Crawford, made a bold statement during his post-fight interview, saying he believes Crawford is significantly better than Floyd Mayweather. This remark has stirred quite a reaction, as no one understands Canelo's viewpoint better than he does himself.
Puts him as the greatest of all time. Now, I know it's hard because obviously you've been with Floyd and a lot of people saying Floyd is great, but does that at least put him in that conversation with your Floyd Mayweathers, your Manny Pacquiao's, your Sugar Ray Leonard's, all the greats of the past, and obviously Canelo obviously as well because he'll be there. Does that put him there?
Yeah, for sure. Of course, nobody will ever like Floyd.
Crawford's reputation has reached new heights, especially after moving up 2 weight classes to defeat Canelo, who had been nearly unbeatable above 160 pounds for more than 10 years. This victory has placed Crawford in an elite historical category. The question has shifted from whether he is the best fighter of his generation to whether he might be the top male boxer of the entire century. At present, the only competitor often mentioned alongside him in that debate is Floyd Mayweather. This is what makes the possibility of a Mayweather vs. Crawford matchup so intriguing.
And compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and nice out with Terence Crawford.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
Shortly after, Stephen A. Smith shared his thoughts on the matter. While he didn't fully agree with Canelo's assessment, he acknowledged the comparison. On ESPN, Stephen A. explained, "I'm not going to claim that Crawford is better outright. Floyd Mayweather was a defensive genius." He went on to highlight that once Floyd moved up to welterweight, his hands were often injured, which limited his knockout power. Despite that, Mayweather consistently delivered outstanding performances thanks to his superior skill and defense. Stephen A. also pointed out a key difference between the two fighters. During Crawford's recent fight, he absorbed several punches, whereas Floyd rarely took direct hits because of his exceptional defense. That's the distinction.
Canelo, choose one, please.
Guys, we gotta go. We don't.
Can you elaborate on why Crawford is better than Mayweather? It's just a little bit of detail.
Oh, he can switch. He's very smart guy. He's better.
The main point of debate now revolves around Crawford's toughness, his capacity to absorb punches and keep going, versus Mayweather's skill at completely avoiding being hit. Some fans side with Canelo's perspective, believing that defeating larger opponents like Crawford did shows greater boldness. Others agree more with Stephen A., arguing that true greatness isn't just about who you defeat, but also about minimizing the damage you sustain throughout your career.
Of course you got to give it to Floyd. Floyd at that time, Ben, what's up? Floyd at that time versus Canelo was in total confidence. His skill set, his IQ. You know what I'm saying? Everything he do, he was just a complete fighter that night. But I feel like was up against a lot because he was fighting a guy that we knew something about, but we didn't know too much about. People don't understand how much.
Ryan Garcia has also weighed in on the debate, but from a different perspective. During an appearance on Ring Magazine's Inside the Ring show, Garcia delivered one of the strongest criticisms of Floyd Mayweather from an active boxer. He argued that Mayweather negatively impacted the sport by being extremely strategic about when he chose to fight. According to Garcia, Floyd often picked opponents either after their prime or before they had fully developed, meaning he rarely faced anyone at their absolute best. For that reason, Garcia believes Mayweather's approach changed boxing in a harmful way.
Career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people, but
Are you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
did he lose? I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Want to
make himself look like he did something?
Garcia doesn't dispute Floyd's business savvy. In fact, he acknowledges that Mayweather is a master at creating high-profile fights. However, he views this as part of the problem. According to Garcia, Floyd's precise timing in choosing when to fight contributed to a culture where preserving an undefeated record became more important than taking on the toughest challenges. Me, Tank, Canelo, Crawford, we're all trying to undo the impact Mayweather had, Garcia explained. Referencing his own decision to face Gervonta "Tank" Davis in 2023, a fight that ended in a knockout loss but showed his willingness to take risks.
The wars.
100%. Crawford is a young gun trying to prove himself, in my opinion.
Garcia's criticism hit a sensitive spot because it highlights a generational divide in boxing. Floyd's era placed equal emphasis on business strategy and skill, while Crawford's era, at least in the eyes of many, celebrates taking bold, high-risk challenges. This underlying tension is a big part of why the idea of a Crawford versus Mayweather fight excites so many fans. It's more than just a matchup, it's a battle of differing approaches to the sport. Responses to Garcia's comments have been mixed. Some experts defend Floyd, emphasizing his record against numerous Hall of Famers, and noting that timing and strategy have always been integral to boxing. Others feel Garcia is speaking a truth many fans have long suspected, that Mayweather's pursuit of perfection ultimately made the sport less exciting.
Who do you think's better out of those two? Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather's really good.
Floyd hasn't directly responded to Garcia's critique, but his perfect 15-0 record often speaks louder than words. Meanwhile, Max Kellerman offered his signature thoughtful analysis on the topic. He acknowledged that Floyd's resume is more extensive than Crawford's, highlighting Mayweather's superior speed and defensive skills. However, Kellerman also pointed out a key nuance. Floyd was very selective about when he chose to fight, especially after moving up from lightweight. Despite his impressive list of opponents, many people still remember the times when Floyd appeared to avoid certain fighters during specific periods in their careers.
Have you thought about going for 51-0, beating Mayweather's record with 50-0? Is that something that you thought about?
I already said I wasn't never gonna beat Mayweather record. That's not something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
To be honest, I was gonna retire if I didn't get this Errol Spence fight.
Kellerman contrasted Floyd's cautious strategy with Crawford's fearless mindset. Although Crawford's resume may not be as extensive in some areas, everyone has seen that he has consistently sought out the toughest challenges throughout his career. That approach resonates with fans. Kellerman even drew a historic parallel, comparing Crawford's current presence in boxing to that of Sugar Ray Robinson, who many still regard as the greatest fighter of all time. He's building a legacy not just through his record, but in the way Sugar Ray Robinson did, Max explained. Those who watched Sugar Ray for decades still say he was the greatest because he took on everyone and beat them.
People remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
Kellerman also offered a word of caution. He reminded everyone how Roy Jones Jr. once reached a similar level of admiration after defeating John Ruiz, only for his later defeats to affect that legacy. Had Roy retired at that peak, his aura would have remained untarnished. Max emphasized that Crawford's story is still unfolding. But for now, following his win over Canelo, Crawford has created the strong impression that he can beat anyone.
Saw you before the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. He's a GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. Not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better.
The boxing world remains split on the issue. Some fans on social media point out that Floyd steered clear of Manny Pacquiao during much of Pacquiao's prime. On the other hand, supporters argue that Pacquiao was the one who initially declined the fight due to disagreements over blood testing. This ongoing debate underscores just how controversial Mayweather's legacy continues to be, even as Crawford carves out his own path in the sport.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147.
Meanwhile, Floyd hasn't hesitated to acknowledge Crawford's talent, though he stops short of placing him above himself for now. Even before Crawford's victory over Canelo, Floyd expressed interest in collaborating with him, including the possibility of signing Crawford to Mayweather Promotions. He has also ranked Crawford as the top pound-for-pound fighter of today, showing clear respect. But with Canelo publicly naming Crawford the better fighter, and Crawford openly aiming to surpass Floyd's legacy, the chance of a Mayweather-Crawford fight feels more tangible than ever. These developments are fueling the growing excitement around what was once considered just a dream matchup.
You know what I mean? And, you know, in competitive guys, next thing you know, Bud and Floyd will be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. You know, it's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie.
Though Floyd hasn't formally announced any upcoming fights, his reactions to Crawford's remarks and his strong defense of his legacy suggest he might still have some fights left in him. Given Floyd's track record of choosing high-profile matchups and Crawford's current rise, many fans now seriously consider a Mayweather versus Crawford showdown a real possibility. What are your thoughts? Drop a comment below and don't forget to subscribe for the latest updates.